Before I get started in the video, I just want to apologize in advance if I sound very tired. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, and if I say any names wrong, I'm not fluent in Japanese, so I wouldn't know. And for the captions, because they kind of have like auto captions on while editing, and sometimes they mess up, but I try my best to correct them. So yeah, let's get started with the video.
Oga Aishi was the daughter of a brilliant weaver whose work was hidden in a quiet village. As a child, Oga swore to show the world her mother's genius. She crafted clothes from her mother's fabrics and gave them to travelers, spreading her artistry across Japan. Soon, nobles and merchants flocked to their village, and Oga built a thriving business that turned the Aishi name into a symbol of wealth and elegance. But despite her success, Oga lived with constant emptiness until the day she touched the hand of a stranger. In that moment, the void inside her vanished. She was convinced that he was her soulmate. She devoted herself to him completely. The whirlwind romance ended in a marriage, and in 1872, she gave birth to her daughter, Kijiyose Aishi. To Oga, Kijiyose was the ultimate treasure, the embodiment of her love and continuation of the Aishi legacy. Kijiyose Aishi was born into wealth and prestige. Her mother's textile empire filled their homes with vibrant fabrics and endless prosperity, but none of it could fill the emptiness Kijiyose carried inside. Like all members of the Aishi bloodline, she also too suffered from the Aishi condition, the haunting sense that something vital was missing. Her family told her there was only one cure: touching her soulmate. From then on, she dedicated her life to finding them. She became skilled at subtle contact, brushing her hands with customers, guiding them through the fabrics, always hoping that one touch would make her feel whole. But after exhausting her entire hometown, she realized her soulmate wasn't there. So, she set across Japan as a traveling merchant. With her mother's finest skills in her basket and a hidden blade in her cane, she wandered markets, villages, and cities, always searching, always touching, always hoping. Bandits tried to stop her, but Kijiyose's training made her lethal. Nothing would stand in her way of her quest. After a year of relentless searching, it finally happened. A single touch from a merchant filled her world with light and warmth. The emptiness vanished. She had found her soulmate. The romance was swift, and a marriage soon followed. In 1890, Kijiyose gave birth to twins, Kuji and Hiki Aishi. She knew she had passed down the same curse of longing, but she also gave them her determination, ensuring that when their time came, they too would do whatever it took to find their soulmate. Hodaka Aishi was born in 1910 into immense wealth, but he had no interest in the family fortune. Instead, he was frail, awkward bookworm who lived for knowledge, not business. In high school, girls suddenly began pursuing to him, though not for love, for his money. One by one, those girls suffered misfortune, arrests, expulsions, scandals. Hoda began to believe he was cursed. When a shy, bookish classmate named Asabeki confessed her feelings, he wanted her to stay away, but she refused, promising she would endure any price to stay at his side. Touched by her devotion, he fell in love, and the supposed curse seemed to have vanished. Asabeki came from one prestigious textile family, but like Hodaka, she rejected her inheritance. Instead, she devoted her life into the new science of genetics. Drawn together by their similarities, the two built a life of study, love, and partnership. For 70 years, they stayed married. In 1998, Hodaka lay on his deathbed, holding his wife's hand, thanking her for the lifetime of love. But Asabeki seemed distant, murmuring strange words.
That's strange. I don't feel it anymore. I think my theory was correct.
Beni Yoshida was born in 1960 in Tokyo to an ordinary working-class family. She grew up polite, studious, and unremarkable, showing no signs of cruelty or malice. At 18, she pursued beauty school, and by 20, her life she became a licensed cosmetologist for modest normalcy. Until one night at a train station, when she gave a subtle nudge to a drunken salaryman who had bragged about abusing women. His fall was ruled an accident, but Beni felt not guilty, only satisfaction. For the next 5 years, she lived a double life. By day, she was a rising young hairdresser. By night, a silent predator who targeted men who exploited women, abusers, cheaters, parasites. One by one, accidents claimed them. But the police began to notice a pattern and linked a witness description to her. Beni felt paranoia replaced her thrill. She abandoned her crusade, fled to Tokyo in 1988, and opened a quiet salon in the countryside, determined to bury her past. Her resolve faltered in 1989 when a new client named Ryoba walked into the shop. Beni instantly recognized the same predatory stillness in her that once she saw in herself. Over time, Ryoba became a regular, and years later, she even brought her daughter, a child whose hollow eyes carried the same darkness. Though Beni dismissed the whispers urging her to kill again, every time she looked into that girl's unblinking stare, she wondered if her time as a cleanser was truly over, or merely waiting to begin again. Most of Gita's choices in life were made on a whim, dyeing a streak of green in her hair, picking up the guitar, applying to academy, and even starting the light music club. While her friends chased ambitious futures and medicine or law, Gita drifted, telling herself not to compare and that life was meant to be fun. But as time passed, that carefree attitude began to feel hollow, and doubts of her lack of direction started to creep in. At first, the light music club was just a place to hang out and laugh with friends, but everything shifted when Miyuji-san joined. Shy, timid, and lonely, Miyuji made Gita feel strangely reassured. Someone finally seemed more lost than she was. But when Miyuji reinvented herself into a bold, outgoing punk girl full of energy and dreams, Gita's comfort shattered, forcing a smile. She handed Miyuji the leadership of the club, though the thought made her feel sick inside. Now, the Strawberry Thieves band consumes her free time. With Gita as the lead guitarist, outwardly she plays the role of the supportive friend, but secretly resents it. She clings to the hope that Miyuji's transformation is just an act that will crumble, restoring Gita's sense of superiority. Until then, she practices her guitar, wears a mask of carefree fun, and quietly wonders if she should be ashamed of the person she has become. Fude is a cheerful girl who lives and breathes anime and manga. She spends every waking moment practicing her art in hopes of one day breaking into Japan's animation or comic industry. Though she joined the art club, her only real interest lies in anime-style drawing, and she struggles to talk about anything outside her passion. Maka, on the other hand, is a total enigma, quiet and eccentric. She only speaks in strange, cryptic remarks that rarely connects to what's happening around her. She constantly sketches odd, abstract doodles that leaves classmates unsettled and confused. Yet her grades keep teachers from questioning her too deeply. The other members of the club are just as unusual. And Bitsu, a vain narcissist, draws nothing but himself and spends his free time admiring his reflection, while Barupen lurks in dark corners, sketching corpses, skeletons, and scenes of death. While Enbitsu thrives on attention for his beauty, Barupen shuns others entirely, finding comfort only in his grim, lonely art. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to watch more Yandere similar content, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment on who you want to see next. Bye!